You're watching American Conference Softball on ESPN, where the UAB Blazers host their second top 5 SEC opponent of the season as the Alabama Crimson Tide, #2 in the country, make their way up I-2059 for the second time in 2 weeks. We welcome you in to Mary Bowers Field in the heart of the Magic City. A happy game day. James Hardy with you, along with AJ Doherty. And AJ, another exciting evening for UAB softball.
Yeah, UAB looking forward to hosting another top 5 opponent in their house in front of what we expect to be a great crowd. Should be a great night of softball.
And in this series history, Alabama has dominated through the first 26 years as the UAB Blazers looking for still their first ever victory over the Crimson and White, as this will be the 37th meeting all-time between the Crimson Tide and the Blazers. And, of course, Alabama 36-0 through those first 36 meetings.
Yeah, Alabama coming in with a very high-powered offense with a great pitching staff. Coach Smart and her company looking to slow them down tonight.
And offense is something over recent years that head coach Patrick Murphy has had some critics on his back, but this season the offense has picked up, especially in the power numbers. Already 77 round trippers, already 17 more than they had in all of 2025.
Yeah, Alabama's offense has really found something that's working out for them, and this season they have torn it up at the plate.
Alabama hopes to use their bats as well as outstanding pitching to get them all the way to the finish line in Oklahoma City in June. Coming up next, it's UAB and Alabama for the second time this season to close out the non-conference schedule. The green and gold or the crimson and white, AJ, nothing more exhilarating than to see the stands full of fans for this Tuesday evening here at Mary Bowers Field. James Hardy, AJ Doherty with you as we're about to get set for the second and final meeting of the season between UAB and Alabama as Montgomery native Caitlin Russell takes the circle.
Yeah, this is going to be a great night of softball in front of a great crowd. I think it's phenomenal that these two teams get together for a home-and-home each year. It's great for the sport, great for both programs.
And we talked about a little bit as far as at least one of the first home games UAB had against Tennessee. You mentioned as far as just how well the state of the sport of softball is overall, and you look at the stands here, and we'll talk about it more as far as Coach Patrick Murphy's contributions to that, but it just says just as far as how far softball has gotten as far as just the mainstream appeal.
Oh, we're definitely in the golden era of this sport, and it's really cool to be around and really cool to have watched it grow on as much as it has over the last 15 or 20 years.
Caitlin Russell coming in, her 25th appearance and her 11th start so far in 2026. 6-8. She's lost her last 2 starts, but looking to pick up a big-time W against the number 2 Alabama Crimson Tide. Alexis Papello grounds one right to Carly Wilkins. 1 pitch and 1 down.
Yeah, that's going to be big for UAB tonight, and Caitlin Russell in particular to get it started. They're looking to get ahead in the count. They're looking to keep the hitters off balance with an off speed.
Alexis Papillo does not wait to swing at the very first pitch of the ball game, and Carly Wilkins there for the first out of the inning. Brooke Wells, you look at the definition for a difference maker. The picture for Brooke Wells would be in there, as this is her first season in a crimson and white uniform. Has played and started all but 1 game this year and has 19 round trippers this season.
Coach Murphy's exact words about her was she's a professional hitter.
Pitch outside, and while at least there's been over recent seasons a lot of discontent as far as the lack of punch in the lineup, that's not the case so far this year with Alabama. Closing in on 80 homers, and including tonight, still 7 more regular season games left.
That pitch right there in particular, and I mentioned it earlier, her being able to throw that off speed for a strike early in these at-bats, especially in the first inning here, is going to really set a good tone for her to be effective throughout the course of the game.
Wells, 54 hits this season, rolls this one just fair as Flamia on the run. Nice play by the UAB freshman third baseman, and so far so good for Caitlin Russell.
Yep, I think that's huge. She gets ahead in the count. She's able to work the off speed in there to make them honor it, and she's able to get this roll me over ground ball on another outside pitch, something she tried to pull.
And nice defense with the throw on the run by Flamia. She's had a very solid defensive year in her inaugural campaign with the green and gold. Taylor to the plate. She lifts this one into left center field as that sends Holt and Shira back as Shira makes the over-the-shoulder catch, and quickly Caitlin Russell 3 up and 3 down as Alabama goes down quietly in order. UAB, their first at-bat coming up as Ashlyn Shira will lead off for the green and gold coming on the other side of this timeout. Daphne, Alabama, down along Alabama's Gulf Coast. Her first season with the Crimson Tide. As we take a look at her numbers, this is her 24th appearance of the season, 18th start, and already off to a great start in her collegiate career.
She has truly emerged as one of their major contributors in the circle. Coach Murphy's words about her tonight was he wants her to get going at hitters from the very beginning, go right at them, work ahead in the count, and attack the strike zone.
Ashlyn Shira, one of the hottest hitters in the American Conference over about the last month, as she takes a called strike. Ashlyn Shira, since moving up to the leadoff spot almost at 500, had a couple of homers this week against UTSA.
She's been a big piece of this offense so far this season.
In fact, had a homer on Sunday. Bounces this one foul. Hannah Dorsett and Madeline Flamia batting second and third for UAB here in the first. And then for Alabama, their second trip in the last couple of weeks now to the Magic City, looking to make this a much better trip to Birmingham than the first trip to Samford. Rise ball upstairs. A shocking loss to the Bulldogs for Alabama last week, but give them a lot of credit. They were able to bounce back and, except for the Saturday game, pretty much handle Kentucky over the weekend. 1-2 to Shira. Bounces this one wide of the third baseline and foul. Final non-conference game for both Alabama and UAB. And for Alabama, an outstanding 42-4 start to the year. Almost at least reminders of 2021, 2019, and 2012 seasons that saw Alabama go deep in the Women's College World Series. Line drive and right at Young, the second baseman, one down.
Yeah, I talked to Coach Smart a bit too. I've mentioned a couple of times conversations with Coach Murphy. Coach Smart wanted her team to really have competitive at bats, and I think you're going to see it out of Shira here. It ends with a little looping line drive, but she saw 5 or 6 pitches. She was able to fight a couple off foul balls, and so I think that's what she wants to see is extended at bats, competitive at bats.
Hannah Dorsett batting in the number 2 slot for about the last 4 weeks. Hits this one foul. So we've seen both teams offer early in their at-bats. A couple of first pitch swings for Papillo and Taylor for Alabama. And so far a first pitch swing for both Shira and Dorsett. Dorsett has played and started every game, as they'll appeal down to third. And yes, says Tyler Daffron, the third base umpire. Joycey Harville behind home plate, and also another veteran at first base in Craig Hyde. Moten comes home. Good eye by Dorsett. Hannah Dorsett down to .327 with her batting average. No home runs and 13 RBIs. A 3-year starter for the green and gold. Looking to get on base. Pitch. High chopper, tough play for Hawkins. Throw over, not in time.
Really, really love the effort there. Hannah Dorsett knew she had the high chopper, but knew she had to bust it down the line to be safe, and that's exactly what she did.
Saylin Hawkins made a pretty good throw waiting for this high chop, but that high chop, AJ, the difference in a bang-bang play at first.
Yep.
Coming up, Madeline Flamia has also played and started every game along with Shira and Dorsett. Takes an off-speed pitch, a strike call. UAB able to get ahead first on Sunday against UTSA in a 14-6 6-inning wire-to-wire win on Sunday. Trying to do the same here as that's popped up. Young calls for it and makes the grab. 2 down. Jenna Young, her second put out here in the first.
Yeah, I will say you do see the offensive or the defensive plan from the circle. Coach Murphy asking Vic to go right at these hitters, and she's really pounding the strike zone. I got to give her credit. She's executing that part of it.
Olivia Tyndall pounding the softball so far over the last couple of weeks as she goes after the rise ball. A 7-game hitting streak for Olivia Tyndall.
Yeah, how cool for her to get an opportunity and cash in on it as a true freshman.
Pitch home, swing and a miss. So no balls and 2 strikes. Tyndall a homer, her second of the season on Sunday. One of 3 Blazers homers as that's sent down the right field line and goes into the bullpen out of play. Hannah Dorsett with an infield single on at first. UAB trying to pick up their first ever win over Alabama, as this is the 37th meeting in series history. Alabama won 8-0 in 5 innings in late February in their first matchup. Swing and a miss for the strikeout. First strikeout for Moten as both teams come up scoreless in the first inning. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, and 1 left on base for UAB. As we'll take a look at Moten going up the ladder with the rise ball. We go to the second inning as both teams come up empty in their first at bat.
This is where success is earned, never given. Where character and grit break the status quo, and competition drives ambition. Ignited by innovation, united by mission, bold in service. It is set in stone. One footprint, 15 world-class institutions, one conference. This is the American, built to rise.
When you talk about coaching in the SEC, the first pick as far as the Mount Rushmore of SEC softball coaches, Patrick Murphy, 28 seasons, but he's been involved either as an assistant or a head coach for all 30 of Alabama's seasons, as just a couple weeks ago picked up his 500th career SEC victory down at Auburn. That's lined into right field, and that'll go all the way to the wall for Jenna Young. Young, a first pitch double on a solid line drive to get the Crimson Tide off to a positive start here in the second. We'll take another look.
You're going to see her go down and get a pitch that obviously is something she really likes. She drops the bat head on it. And one of the things Coach Murphy said going into this game was he wanted his hitters to swing at good pitches. And good pitch for this kid may not be the same good pitch for that kid. You can tell that's something Young liked there, and she jumped all over.
Audrey Vandegrift grounds this one. Nice play on a tricky hop by Bennett as she'll retire Vandegrift. But Alabama, a quality out, though, to send Young over to third.
Yeah, that's what you need there out of the lefty. You're looking for a productive at-bat, and the productive out is something on the ground to the right side, and that's what you're going to get right here. She sees something she can handle and drive it to the right side. Tricky play, nice play by Charlie Bennett there, but she does successfully move the runner 60 feet closer to scoring.
Salyn Hawkins, an RBI opportunity. Takes an off-speed pitch down and away. Hawkins out of Phoenix, Arizona. 4 homers and 26 RBIs coming into the week. Russell comes home. High fly ball, should get the run home as Shira slows down and makes the catch. Tagging and scoring is Young as Alabama gets on the board first. Solid job that time by Alabama of getting the leadoff batter aboard into scoring position, and then just no mistakes softballs they're able to capitalize and take the early lead.
Yeah, that's just good softball. You get a leadoff double, you have a productive out to get to the third. You know, you hit a deep fly ball and you know, able to sack her in. So that's just they used to call that tic-tac-toe, textbook.
Abby Dukeshire hit by the pitch. Grace might have sounded like it went off the elbow guard as the inning remains alive here in the second. We'll take another look at this pitch that just does come in and hit that front of the elbow. Number 8 batter in the order and the 5th in the inning, Anna Roman. Roman 33 out of 105 this season. Lays off for ball 1.
If you're Caitlin Russell right here, you really need to take a deep breath. You gave up a run, but it's a skinny number, as we used to call it. That's a skinny number out there. That's just textbook softball. You had to score at least 1 to win anyway. So, you know, take a breath, get back to doing what you need to do.
Still very early on for the Blazers as the count now 2 balls and no strikes.
And Caitlin's a veteran. She knows that. She knows that.
Anna Roman, one of 3 Crimson Tide batters with double-digit homers coming into the game. 11 homers for the left-handed batting right fielder. Swing and a miss as that gets away enough from Henderson, and I think also that Dukeshire was going on the pitch.
Yeah, I'm not sure if that was a hit and run. That was a changeup or an off-speed that was going to miss pretty badly low, and I'm sure she recognized that, but maybe due to a hit and run situation, she had to take a swing at it. I'm not sure there, but normally I don't think she would have taken a swing at that.
Another RBI opportunity for Roman. That's grounded, and a nice play by Bennett. Throws from the knees in time. A stylish way to end the top of the second inning for Charlie Bennett, but Alabama scores first, a run on 1 hit, no errors, and a runner left in scoring position. A couple of nice plays by Charlie Bennett here in the second, including robbing an RBI single from Roman. As we go to the bottom of the second inning, Alabama 1 and UAB nothing. Purdue tonight at 20-26 overall, 7-14 in conference play. As so far, they have lost 5 of their first 7 conference series in the American Conference, including being swept in their first 3 conference series in March. First pitch swing for Carly Wilkins as it's fouled back our way. Carly Wilkins with a grand slam as part of a 3 home run effort for UAB on Sunday.
Yeah, Carly Wilkins is another kid that sort of paid her dues, waited her turn, and man, she's made the most out of this opportunity here at the end of her career.
Grounds this one. Nice play by Hawkins. Deep throw and at least knocked down by Dukeshire as UAB gets the leadoff batter aboard.
So I know a priority for UAB tonight is going to be to get them on and get them over, get an opportunity to knock them in. So I'll be curious to see how they handle this at bat with Ant. You're going to get another look at the hard ground ball from Carly, which was pretty well played at shortstop. A little off on the throw at first base.
In fact, this is going to be a rather very tough error given to Salyn Hawkins at shortstop. That was a deep throw, and even on Wilkins, that was a tough play as far as making that far of a throw. Antonia Henderson, a big swing and a miss.
Yeah, Coach Smart really hoping Ant can give her a quality at bat here and at least a productive out. She's down 1 and 2, in the count, but she needs to shorten up and poke it somewhere.
Pops this one up. Taylor in foul territory, an easy catch. 1 down. So Wilkins remains at first base. Kylie Collette, her 20th start this year, 27th appearance on the season out of Lilburn, Georgia. So far 11 out of 54, but had 3 hits over the weekend in the series against UTSA. Collette swings first pitch and skies this one to Van de Griff. Makes the catch, 2 down. You mentioned as far as Patrick Murphy's game plan for Moton today, but it appears for both teams the game plan is to be aggressive for both UAB and Alabama early in the count.
Sure seems to be. Both are swinging early in the count, but Vic's throwing it. She's pounding the strike zone, so there's something to hit early in the count also.
JC holds a tough weekend against UTSA as she takes for ball 1.
And I want to go back to Coach Murphy. You mentioned you can't have a Mount Rushmore of SEC coaches without Coach Murphy. Man, how many people get to say they've seen every pitch of a program in today's world?
It's not very many. In
28
fact,
years.
30 years total.
That's right.
As the Alabama program loves to term their teams, in this case, team number 30.
That's right.
1 ball and 1 strike. Swing and a miss at the rise ball. Moton getting the rise ball going so far today, looking for win at number 16 for her in what would be Bama's 43rd of the season. Pitch home. Sent down the left field line, and a good effort by Johnson as she smartly slides into the bullpen wall that time. Foul.
Yeah, it gets a little tricky when you're on the road and you don't know the dimensions and the layout of the field. So utilize the pop-up slide to be able to protect yourself a bit, especially when you're on the road.
And thankfully went along kind of that border of the fencing as well. Chopper behind home plate and foul. And then still a lot of business for Alabama, you would think, as far as what they have ahead, just beyond the regular season. Of course, the SEC tournament, but what they hope is another fruitful appearance as far as the NCAA tournament, what you would think would be at home for both regionals and super regionals. The foul ball out of play. And typically, as you know, AJ, when they're able to get one of those top 8 national seeds, it is almost impossible for the opposition to come into Tuscaloosa and upset them.
The Rhodes house is rocking, man, and then there's no place like the Rhodes in the postseason.
And Alabama as far on pace right now to have one of those type of seasons they had, whether it was their national championship 2012 or even 2019 or 2021.
Tough play right there.
And tough play indeed as Jenna Young not able to make the short hop stab as the Blazers inning continues. Wilkins now into scoring position. That's a tough play on J.C. Holt as we'll take a look at the replay. Good pitch on the drop ball by Moton. And then Young, that's a tough kind of medium hop that time, as even if Young had made a clean field, likely would not have been able to make the out at first.
Yeah, that was a base hit off the bat.
And indeed ruled a single for J.C. Holt. Charlie Bennett, a 2-hit game on Sunday, takes upstairs.
Yeah, Charlie, a freshman that really started out the season hot, has sort of hit a bit of a lull here, but I'm sure Coach Smart is counting on her coming around here going into the postseason, and she's going to get an opportunity here with someone in scoring position.
One of Charlie Bennett's best games at South Carolina in late February. She had at least a then go-ahead a 2-run double against the Gamecocks in what turned out to be a narrow 3-2 Gamecocks win. Alabama takes on South Carolina to close out the regular season in about a little over a week, as that'll be a Thursday, Friday, and Saturday series. And then this weekend for Bama, a big road series, their final of the regular season, Saturday, Sunday, and Monday at Tennessee.
Yeah, that'll be huge. It'll be huge on both sides, implications in the standings, implications in the national, in the RPI, and the national rankings, and as you mentioned, in the postseason.
1-0, off-speed strike call. Bama trying to chase down potentially a top national seed, as at least getting a victory today would not hurt them as far as the selection committee's eyes. A strike call. One ball and 2 strikes.
I think the conversation that probably took place there with Coach Lance and Vic was go right at this hitter. This is the 9-hole. Let's not turn the lineup over again.
Swing and a foul ball. Ashlyn Shira on deck. And you don't want to have, if you're Moton, the bases loaded with Ashlyn Shira, who's been a hot hitter for UAB the last month at the plate.
Yeah, if you're Alabama, it's unnecessary. You want to go right at the 9 and make her beat you to get back to the top of the order.
Swing and a miss, and right on cue, a strikeout on the drop balls, as that is the second of the ball game for Vic Moton, as we'll take the timeout. Alabama maintains a 1-0 lead through 2 here on ESPN. After 2 innings, allowed 1 hit, 1 run, no walks, a hit batter, and no strikeouts, as Caroline McClendon, the lefty out of Mobile, Alabama, the junior out of St. Paul's Episcopal, makes the appearance for UAB. 2-3 her record, just a little under 33 innings pitched this year. Just 6 starts, most of her appearances out of the bullpen this year. Lauren Johnson, her first at bat. Shows bunt, pulls back, and takes for ball 1.
Yeah, that's not a bad outing at all for Caitlin Russell. She's able to hold Alabama to 1 run, very explosive offense. She's able to throw the changeup for a strike, and I like this move. I like the change. It's something different. The lineup's going to turn over, and so you're giving them a completely different look with a lefty, different funky spin.
Solid season at the bottom of the order for Johnson. Gets ahead 2 balls and no strikes. Alexis Papillo and Brooke Wells also will have their second at-bats of the ball game here in the 3rd. McClendon, a relief outing on Saturday against UTSA. Lifted into left field. This has a chance, and out of here. Lauren Johnson goes yard for the third time this season. 15 RBIs for the Bama left fielder as Alabama increases their lead up to 2.
Yeah, and if you're Caroline, obviously that didn't go as planned. But the key to that was we fell behind in the count. If you're Caroline, you're kicking yourself a bit right now because you fell behind 2-0. You threw something a little up in the zone, and she was able to, really cut loose because she was in a hitter's count. And so learn a lesson, move on.
Right down the middle, and Johnson able to turn on it into the left field stands. There you see the folks as far as doing a little tailgating action, as it is a packed house, not a place to sit or park here today at Mary Bowers Field. One of the largest crowds, looks like some program history, as Alabama number 2 in most of the top 25 polls coming into this week. In fact, they've been in the top 5 pretty much throughout the season, as we're back to the top of the order. Alexis Papillo grounded out to Wilkins on the very first pitch of the ball game. McClendon winds and fires. Off-speed strike call.
Yeah, McClendon trying to settle down, get back in a rhythm here. Kind of got her cage shook a bit there after falling behind, giving up a big fly. Settle back in, go back to executing what you went out there to do.
McClendon, her 15th appearance of the season. A little out in front for Papello. High pop up to Wilkins as she makes the catch. 1 down. So Alexis Papello coming in at .431 so far, 0 for 2 today. 1 down for Brooke Wells.
Yeah, that's a big out to get in front of Brooke Wells.
Wells 0 for 1 as she grounded out to Madeline Flemia in the first. McClendon rocks and fires. Upstairs, almost directly over the head of Wells. This is almost exactly halfway through a 7-game final homestand for UAB, as they'll have their final conference home series against South Florida beginning on Friday. High pop-up. Flemia awaits it and makes the catch in foul territory. 2 down. Again, a nice off-speed pitch as it seemed to get Wells off her timing for the second out.
Yeah, Caroline could be a very effective pitcher. When I was coaching here and we would have live at-bats, our hitters hated hitting off of Caroline. It's just a weird, funky left-handed spin, and when she controls it and gets ahead in the count and executes her pitches, boy, she's tough.
Embry Taylor, a fly out to Shira and left her last time up. Taylor falls behind, no balls and 1 strike. Caroline McClendon, 4 scoreless innings on Saturday against UTSA. Walked 3, allowed just 3 hits, and also picked up a strikeout. Off the end of the bat. Oh, looked as if might have gone off of one of the assistants for UAB in the first base dugout. Thankfully, no harm, no foul there over in the first base dugout, AJ.
Didn't appear to. If it was, don't rub it. That's the rule. You don't rub it.
No balls and 2 strikes. Pitch. Off the end of the bat, found. There you see Alabama seems to, at least other than Lauren Johnson this inning, they've had a tough time trying to time up that off-speed breaking ball.
Yeah, and the key for Caroline is, just like with Caitlin Russell, it's the off-speed, but it's also the getting ahead in the count. When you fall behind 2-0, a lot of people become really good hitters, and they're good enough as it is.
0-2. Swing and a miss at the drop ball. First strikeout for UAB pitching today as Lauren Johnson goes yard for the 3rd time this season to increase Alabama's lead. As we'll take a look at Johnson teeing off and increasing Alabama's lead by 1 as they take a 2-0 lead going to the bottom of the 3rd. their second time through their starting 9 in the batting order. Ashlyn Shira, a soft line out to Young at second in the first inning. Moten, 2 scoreless innings so far as the first pitch foul ball makes it no balls and 1 strike. Alabama with a 2-0 lead, and this could be a barometer, AJ, for things to come for Alabama in the postseason. 6-2 against ranked opponents, and when you take a look at those games, they've outscored ranked opposition by 15. Hit into left field as coming in, coasting in, is Johnson, out number 1.
Yeah, and they haven't shied away from them. And you saw the record there, 6-2 against the top 10, 2 wins against number 6 Florida, 2 wins, 2 of 3 at number 1 Texas and Arkansas. So their schedule has lined up where they see plenty of them, but boy, have they taken care of business when they've gotten the opportunities.
Well, that's one thing. When you break down the numbers for an Alabama softball squad each and every year as Dorsett takes strike 1 call, Patrick Murphy knows how to play the RPI game to structure his non-conference schedules to get them ready for conference play. There's a looper into left field as coming over Johnson again, and she's been awfully active here in the 3rd inning as she's recorded both of the first 2 putouts.
Yeah, but I like the approach. I like both outs there from UAB. Both were competitive at bats. Didn't see extended at bats, but you saw competitive at bats, competitive balls put in play, which tells me there are some adjustments taking place before the second at bats against Vic Moten.
Madeline Flamia pop up to second as she takes the rise ball. One thing Patrick Murphy knows how as far as managing a season schedule, tough in the non-conference in February and early March, get them ready for conference play. And then you do well enough in conference play, typically that's going to get you one of those top 10, certainly top 8 national seeds, so that with a program like Bama and the home field advantage they have, they can host regionals and super regionals and get to Oklahoma City. 1-1, hit into left field. Johnson a few steps back as she records all 3 outs here in the 3rd. No runs, no hits, no errors, nobody left on base for UAB. We're through 3. It is Alabama 2 and UAB nothing. And looking to win another SEC championship as they are tied, at least in the SEC standings coming into this week with the Oklahoma Sooners at 15-3 in conference play. And there you see really all of those teams in the top 10 as far as the ESPN.com USA softball outstanding seasons and likely to be big-time factors in May in the NCAA tournament. First pitch inside for ball 1 to Jenna Young.
Well, looking at that top 10 list, I actually owe the Florida Gators an apology. I said Alabama beat Florida early in the season. They were number 6. It was Florida State, so I apologize. Coach Walton, Coach Van Brakel and company, or Prothrow, sorry, Coach Prothrow and company.
Well, we may have to put that on hold in case these two teams face off either in the SEC tournament in Lexington or at some point maybe in Oklahoma City.
very possible. Very possible.
Well, we know that has been quite a tradition as far as Florida and Alabama in the past, playing some memorable games out in Oklahoma City. 1-1 to Young. Pops this one up. Flamia now into foul territory, makes the grab. So nice response by Caroline McClendon after giving up the solo homer to Lauren Johnson. She's retired 4 in a row.
Yeah, she's figured it out. She's taken a deep breath. She's gotten her heart rate down. You know, gave up the early big fly, but has been able to work ahead in the count, get in the strike zone, use her off speed, and right now has done a pretty good job with these Alabama hitters.
Audrey Vandegrift 0 for 1. A ground out to Bennett back in the second. Takes for ball 1, and you figure, especially for programs like UAB, and in this case the in-state players like Caroline McClendon, you've got to just imagine how much they look forward to days like this to play a program like Alabama.
Oh yeah, no doubt about it. In front of your home crowd on your home field. She's a senior.
Fly ball. Olivia Tyndall makes the catch.
I got to tell you something, James. It is so odd for me to look in that outfield and not see Hannah Miles. She's been out there doing such a good job for so long. People like Olivia Tyndall have stepped up and done a great job. But, man, how odd it is not to see someone as athletic and competitive as Hannah Miles. She's just a staple out there. And, you know, lost her to a season-ending injury recently, and just want to give her a shout-out. What a great career.
Salyn Hawkins at the plate. And, of course, Hannah Miles, a Tuscaloosa native,
Absolutely.
right down 2059, a 4-year starter for UAB, as Hawkins a sac fly her last time up.
One of the most competitive human beings I've ever been around, and a complete joy to coach.
An alum from American Christian Academy. Pitch upstairs, 2 balls and no strikes. Hawkins looking to keep the inning alive. A Mississippi State transfer. The sophomore at 5'4". McClendon pitch home. Ground ball. Knocked down by Dorsett. Would have been a tough play anyway you choose, and so that should be an infield single, and it is for Hawkins.
Yeah, there's no way you give that an error. That was ranging hard back deep into the 5-6 hole for a backhand, and I don't know anybody not named Derek Jeter that doesn't make that play, or that makes that play on a routine basis. So you're right, there's no way that's an error. That's a hit.
Outstanding effort by Dorsett, as that's Bama's 3rd hit this afternoon. Dukeshire shows bunt and takes a strike call. Abby Dukeshire, a really tough season this year. 9 out of 48 coming into today with just 1 homer and 7 RBIs.
Yeah, she hasn't been able to find it this year. After a couple of really good seasons, she's still struggling to find her way this season.
Was one of the actually really the primary power hitter in this Bama lineup the last couple of years. But thankfully, Coach Patrick Murphy going to the transfer portal as far as Brooke Wells, who has just taken the SEC by storm this year.
I wouldn't be surprised to see Coach Murphy put a runner in motion here in this count in this inning.
1-1. Swing and a foul ball. But heck, there's still what we think is a lot of softball for Alabama to go, so you never know, especially in May and potentially June, who might be able to step up for a program like Alabama.
Oh, yeah, you never know. She could be the hero by the end of the season. We know she's capable of doing it.
1-2. Swing and a miss at the breaking ball. 2nd strikeout for McClendon as Alabama does not score. We go to the bottom of the 4th, halfway home, Alabama 2, UAB nothing.
Is the heart of the city. At UAB, we're restless with curiosity and the passion that sparks every new idea and discovery. Here, we're learning everywhere and anywhere, growing, bonding, building something different. Because different moves the world. Here, we aren't just doing what we can, we're doing what they say we can't. Here, we are shaping a better world for all of us. Here we are.
This is where success is earned, never given. Where character and grit break the status quo, and competition drives ambition. Ignited by innovation, united by mission, bold in service. It is set in stone. One footprint, 15 world-class institutions, one conference. This is the American, built to rise.
Olivia Tyndall leads off the bottom of the fourth inning, but in the bottom of the third, Lauren Johnson, a part of all three of the outs recorded by Vic Moten. And Lauren Johnson also one of the 2 runs driven in with a solo homer, as she has contributed in pretty much every way imaginable so far this evening.
Yeah, she's been a big part, and not just tonight. She's been a big part of this season. She's a staple out there in the outfield defensively, and from time to time, she extends innings, rolls the lineup back over to the top, and they count on her to do that.
33rd start this year is Tyndall, an aggressive swing at the rise ball. Olivia Tyndall struck out on 4 pitches. There we take a look at Johnson out in left field. Olivia Tyndall from Alabaster, another big rip and a miss. A lot of potential for Tyndall, a 7-game hitting streak, as so far coming into today, 12 out of 38 in limited at-bats, but already a couple of homers. And you look at 2027, AJ, for Tyndall, could be a very, very big year for her as a sophomore.
They're really, Coach Smart and her staff are really counting on some of these young freshmen to continue to grow and contribute down the road.
Swing and a miss as Tyndall goes down swinging for the second time. Strikeout number 3 for Vic Moten. We'll take another look at the star freshman. As she picks up strikeout number 3 and goes, looks like with maybe a screwball that time. Weak roller over to the right side as Jenny Young, a short flip to retire Carly Wilkins.
Yeah, Moten does such a good job of mixing the planes that she throws pitches. It's got great velocity, it's got great spin, but where she'll get you is she'll hit you with that one at the knees, and then that one at the belt, and then that one at the letters, and she will climb that ladder as far as you'll go with her.
Antonia Henderson swings and misses for a strike. Moten, the 2025 Alabama Gatorade Player of the Year. A 2-time first-team All-State selection from Daphne. Another rip and a miss. Antonia Henderson played her high school ball just basically beyond the Mary Bowers field wall over at Ramsey High School. A lot of in-state players showcasing their talents this evening as the foul ball goes over our heads and out of play.
Yeah, that's one of the things you got to love about these matchups, and how much I appreciate coaches like Coach Murphy, the other in-state coaches playing these matchups on the midweeks with the in-state teams like UAB. I just think it's awesome for what is a hotbed of our sport to get these teams together on a regular basis.
0-2 swung on and missed for the strikeout. 2 strikeouts in the inning for Moten as we're flying along here in Birmingham. Alabama 2 and UAB nothing. As Vic Moten now up to 4 strikeouts, as there you see her get Henderson on the breaking ball. We go to the 5th with Bama up 2. in for UAB as Olivia Cummings, the everyday Game 1 starter in conference play, comes in. And she's been, AJ, one of, if not the most improved pitcher in all of the American.
Oh, yeah, she does a good job of finding the strike zone. She very rarely walks someone, but it's that, again, it's that Caroline McClendon. It's just a different version. It's that funky, spinny lefty. It comes from a different angle, a different shoot on the left side, and she does a phenomenal job mixing in her off speed. And so I love the strategy here, mixing it up, keeping Alabama off balance. And so far, you've put up 2 runs. That's pretty good against this offense. They're giving up.
Roman behind and now even in the count as she takes for ball 1. For Caroline McClendon, 2 innings, 2 hits, 1 run. That was earned with no walks and 2 strikeouts. Roman a ground out to second as she was robbed of an RBI single by Bennett to end the second. Ripped hard but foul.
Yeah, you can see her really coming in on the hands here in this at bat. And, you know, that's the thing about hitters. It's not that pitch was hit hard, but that's strike 2. And Olivia Cummings knows that. And as long as she hits her spot, she'll let her hit as many laser beam line drives down there foul as she'd like, because she's setting up something off speed or away to this kid. And so be interested to see if she executes.
Line drive down the left field line, a fair ball.
Nice piece of hitting.
Shira in the corner as Roman, excellent job with 2 strikes going the opposite way as she's in scoring position with her second double of the season.
Yeah, you're going to see this is a little too sweet to be a 2-strike pitch. 1 and 2, Olivia Cummings really wants this off the plate more, probably down a little bit more, but she leaves it a little too high. Actually, not a terrible pitch, but you can tell not executed where she wanted a 1-2, and a great swing there. That's a great at bat.
Especially with 2 strikes as Bama with a runner in scoring position. Lauren Johnson, an all-around great day so far. Had a solo homer to lead off the 3rd inning. Solid defense in left field today. And that's the type of player you also want to see step up if you're Patrick Murphy once you get into the postseason to help get the Crimson Tide where they want to get to in June. Ground ball right side. Productive at bat for Johnson as Bennett throws to first for the out.
Yeah, again, nothing fancy there. You've got someone in scoring position. You know, just poke a ground ball to the right side, move them up 60 feet. Now you're a fly ball away from a sac fly and another run on the board.
Patrick Murphy comes over to give a high five to Lauren Johnson for getting the job done, for doing some solid teamwork on that ground ball to the right side of the infield. Alexis Papillo, a tough night for her, but an RBI opportunity here. She's grounded out to first and popped up to first as she gets ahead in the count against Olivia Cummings. Cummings out of Corner, Alabama, a junior. UAB and Alabama 6 conference games remain in the regular season after today. Just up and in enough to hit Papillo, and that puts runners at the corners with 1 down. Second hit batter for UAB pitching this evening. See where this gets Papillo. Slow it down, and looks as if right off the elbow guard potentially. As Caroline McClendon did not walk or hit a batter, and Caitlin Russell did hit a batter in the second. Brooke Wells 0 for 2 so far. An excuse me foul ball as she falls behind 0-1.
Yeah, really tied her up there. I think that was obviously inside, and I think that's probably going to be the strategy, try to get a ground ball to the left side here, hold the runner, and maybe have an opportunity to get another out. But that was a really good pitch, really tied Wells up there.
Foul ball makes it no balls and 2 strikes. Wells, a transfer from University of Houston, originally a hometown of Round Rock, Texas.
Something that I noticed there on the foul ball, that ball went down as the ball angled down, and you noticed that the runner was crossing home plate as that ball was bouncing around in the batter's box, which tells me Coach Murphy is on what he would say is ground ball go. So the runner at third here is not reading anything except if the ball is angled down towards the dirt, she's scoring. Very aggressive approach.
Alabama still some important regular season games, of course, we mentioned at Tennessee and at home against South Carolina. They still have at least a 50-50 possibility of potentially winning the regular season in the SEC by themselves by the time they get to Lexington for the SEC tournament. pitch downstairs. Coming into today, Alabama 15-3 in conference play, tied for first with Oklahoma. They have not and will not play Oklahoma in the regular season.
I think you'll see the runner put in motion here pretty quick, put some pressure on this UAB defense.
Lined into left field. That'll drive home a run, or maybe two, as Shira just gets it in around third and scoring Papillo, a 2-run double for Brooke Wells.
Yeah, that's big for Alabama. You put up a couple of skinny numbers, and you're able to put the runner in motion there, and that's what allowed her to score all the way from first on a well-hit ball.
So a 2-run double for Wells right on the inner half that time, as Wells able to solidly stroke that into left center field, as that is her 54th and 55th RBIs of the season and her 11th double on the year.
That was the swing Alabama's been looking for. They've had a few people on, just not able to really produce that big inning, and now you finally feel like they're getting some momentum. But, you know, if you're Olivia Cummings, you gave up a hard hit ball on a 2-strike pitch, you've hit someone this inning. You know, again, back to what we talked about with some of the earlier pitchers, deep breath, calm down, go back to work here.
Substitution as Kinley Pate checks in as the pinch runner at second base. Senior out of Northport. First pitch swing, pop up as Wilkins able to hustle over, make the grab. Pate trying to steal third on the play and gunned down. A 3-5 putout. Excellent play on the combo by Wilkins and Flamia to end the inning.
Yeah, very aggressive. I wouldn't be surprised if we take a look at this.
In fact, hold everything. We won't go to break just yet because Coach Patrick Murphy, you may have seen right before, at least we went away from him on the camera shot. He wants a second look at that play.
Yeah, I think he's going to argue that she got her hand in under the tag. The tag was a little, you know, deep on her back, more around the numbers, and I think he's going to argue that she got her hand in on the head first slide here. And they'll take a look at it. They'll review it for all aspects. They'll review it for obstruction. They'll review it for was the tag in time. And so surely we'll get another look or two at it here. As you see Craig Hyde indicate, we will have another review.
Craig Hyde and Joycey Harville will take a second look. First off, a great play by Wilkins to recognize Pate trying to steal an extra base, and looked as if the throw was in plenty of time. The only question would have been, was the tag applied in time?
Yeah, again, when you're calling for this review as the head coach, you want to mention that you want it reviewed for all aspects. You want to be specific about that, because if you ask specifically for it to be reviewed for, that's all they're going to go look at. If you ask for it to be reviewed for all aspects, they're going to look at all aspects just as it says. So they're looking for obstruction and was the tag in time. I don't believe there's any question was the tag in time looking back at it. It was sort of a long slide. She started it probably a little too early, but the question is going to be, did she start it too early because Flame was in her way and they're going to maybe get obstruction? We'll see here.
Here's the view from home plate, and remember, have to have indisputable evidence to overturn the call on the field. A good throw by Wilkins right on the money to Flamia. Doesn't look like obstruction from that perspective.
Flame was up the line a bit. It's hard to tell from this angle. You know, if the runner had a clear path to the bag and no part of the front edge was blocked, you know, it should not be obstruction. But
Tyler Daffron had a perfect angle for obstruction, and as well as the tag itself.
But great awareness by Carly Wilkins. I'm sure she's getting some help from the dugout there, being able to see the field as her back is to the field, making that catch, but letting her know, hey, the runner's tagging.
Tags in plenty of time there. Call is out on the field, so it appears that our umpire's getting closer to a verdict. At least at Mary Bowers Field, the replay monitor just beyond the first base dugout, and they're making their way out. Miss Harville and Mr. Craig Hyde, as we're about to find out from Craig Hyde. So they do confirm the call on the field at third. So a 5-3 putout on what turns out to be, or a 3-5 putout on what turns out to be a 3-5 double play. We go to the bottom of the fifth inning as Alabama adds 2 to take a 4-0 lead. take home another SEC regular season championship and potentially an SEC tournament, depending on how the trip to Lexington goes in about 3 weeks. As we take a look at the season recap for the Crimson and White, an impressive 19 shutout wins so far among their 42 wins, including 14 run rule victories. So, AJ, that's one out of every 3 wins this year that's been by the run rule.
Yeah, and UAB looking to try to stall that out here by producing some runs, maybe answering here in this inning, which I know Coach Smart is eager to get to work on the offensive half here, have some competitive at-bats, get some people on, apply some pressure to Alabama, hopefully get them on, get them over, and get them in.
0-1 to Kylie Collette. Taking a strike call. This is the 7th game against SEC competition this year for UAB, and this has kind of been the story for most of those games. UAB has been very competitive against their SEC competition, especially early in the season as that's hit foul off to the right side.
Yeah, one thing I think Coach Smart and her staff have done a good job of when they welcome these SEC teams in is not letting the game get too big and then mixing the pitching up, keeping the hitters off balance from these other offensive powers.
Swing and a miss. Second consecutive strikeout. The third batter in the last 4 for UAB that has gone down on strikes.
Yeah, Moten's feeling it right now a little bit, and UAB is really struggling to lay off of that pitch up in the zone. Moten, like I said, is able to throw that pitch at different levels, and it'll fool your eyes.
5 strikeouts for Moten. J.C. Holt, an infield single in the second. And then UAB, they have a pretty solid opponent coming up starting Friday against South Florida. At the top of the American Conference as a fly ball. Johnson has control of it and makes the catch in foul territory.
You know, one of the things I was looking out there, we talked about Johnson earlier and how good she is in left field, but Coach Murphy mentioned to me in the pregame how athletic his defense is. He feels like this is as athletic of a defensive team. He says, I've got athletes all over the field, maybe one of the most athletic defenses I've ever had, and man, you can really tell it.
This is really a total package when it comes to the defense. As you mentioned, AJ, the athleticism and the pop in the lineup along with the pitching that Coach Patrick Murphy has this year.
Yeah, you felt like the last several years maybe there was an ingredient or two missing here or there. Not this year.
0-1 outside corner, and you look at this squad, certainly could be a national championship contender come late May and into June. 0-2 on Bennett. Swing and a miss. Good morning, good afternoon, and good night for the Leeds Alabama native as Moten roars through the UAB bottom of the order. As we'll take a look at strikeout number 2 in the inning for the second consecutive inning for Moten on the rise ball. We're through 5. It's Alabama 4 and UAB nothing. Way into the circle for the green and gold of UAB. Out of Cumming, Georgia, there you take a look at her season numbers. Made her second start of the season on Sunday and able to pick up the W against the Roadrunners of UTSA. Hannah Cole has had an outstanding last month or so since conference play has begun for the Blazers. In fact, she's seen most of her action this year in conference play as a fly ball right over to Olivia Tyndall for out number 1 as Jenna Young retired for the second time.
Hannah Cole was a very highly recruited prospect. We worked very hard to get her committed. Got her committed. She had an unfortunate setback with a couple of arm injuries right upon arriving, but she's really worked hard to get back to a point where she could contribute, and hoping to see her continue to grow and get healthy as she goes.
Pitch home is taken and gets to the backstop to Audrey Vandegrift. Look, listed as 5'9", but from up here, even from high above the playing surface, AJ, Hannah looks a whole lot taller than 5'9".
Yeah, she's an imposing, but she's one of the best humans I've ever met in my life, and I'm so proud of her for working hard and getting back.
1-0, looks as if barely grazes Vandegrift, but enough to send her to first base.
Yeah, if you're UAB, you don't want to have free passes. You're down 4-0, which is still competitive. You've given up, only 2 in the single inning, but skinny numbers other than that, as we mentioned earlier. UAB, we mentioned it earlier about how competitive they've been in these games, and that's impressive. I mean, this is a number 2 team in the country.
Pitch home is upstairs, and you look at the storied history that Patrick Murphy has in his 28 seasons, at least up to now, this could be one of the best teams, most complete teams at least that he's had.
Yeah, they're no doubt. They're the total package. Good pitching, good hitting, athleticism, as we mentioned earlier. But I also think you got to give credit to these Blazers for being competitive. And this isn't the first time, as you mentioned earlier. Tennessee was here a while back. It was a competitive game. Mississippi State's been here. It was a competitive game. 4-0, I realize is a big number against a pitching staff like Alabama's 4 is, but I'm sure Alabama thought this was going to be a run rule. We mentioned they've done it 19 times this season.
1 out of 3 wins for Alabama this year has come on the run rule. 42 wins in total for Bama coming in as Hawkins a fly ball as Holt makes the catch on the hit and run, and the throw back to Wilkins for the double play to end the inning. So just an unfortunately timed hit and run for Alabama as J.C. Holt and Carly Wilkins team up on the 8-3 double play to end the top of the 6th inning. So we'll take a look. The hit and run as on the move was Vandegrift as she gets picked off, being way too far off the first base. We go to the bottom of the 6th inning as it remains Bama 4 and UAB nothing. For the final non-conference game for both Alabama and UAB in the regular season. 80 degrees at first pitch here in Birmingham this evening, and at 78 degrees currently, as Alabama will make their way up to Knoxville beginning with a 3-game series on Saturday. So might benefit Alabama on the front end as far as having that extra day to prepare for Tennessee for a crucial 3-game road series. Ground ball up the middle. Nice play by Hawkins. Throw to first base. Impressive defense. One down to retire Ashlyn Shira.
Yeah, there's some of that athleticism Coach Murphy mentioned to me in the pregame. And you're going to see this kid range to her left pretty hard with her momentum going deep towards the center field angle and still able to flip her hips and throw a strike across the field. Big out right there, too, at the top of the order.
Great range shown by Hawkins. And she's able to get Shira by about a step and a half. Hannah Dorsett, one of UAB's 2 hits today as she takes for ball 1. Moten comes home. Fly ball. Vandegrift drifts over into left center field quickly, 2 down. And we were talking about during the break, Coach Patrick Murphy, he's mentioned throughout the years as far as just never taking opponents like UAB, Samford, South Alabama in the midweek, especially from in-state, for granted. And so far, so good today. And you look behind the scenes, it has to be very tough to get your team up for a game like this if you're Alabama. High chopper and foul off the bat of Flamia.
Yeah, it's a coaching juggling act. You know, you're between an SEC series at home against Kentucky. It was a big alumni weekend, a lot going on there. You're trying to keep from looking ahead to a series against Tennessee, and if you're UAB, you're trying to take advantage of that.
Flamia foul tip. And then they'll go up to Lexington, the final time that SEC teams will be playing on campus for the SEC tournament starting next year for the ensuing 4 seasons. Off the handle and foul as the SEC rolled out the announcement Friday morning that the SEC softball tournament is going to be played at Toyota Park starting next year up in Madison.
Yeah, very exciting for our state, and I think it couldn't be in a better place. And we mentioned it earlier, it's about outgrown these home stadiums. It's such a big deal.
0-2, and at least hearing the chatter on social media, throughout various media sources, the coaches, pretty much all 15 of the SEC coaches, they're in support of it for just what you mentioned.
Well, you had the trial run. They hosted a bunch of games early in the season recently, and that seemed to go well, and I think all of the coaches went, heck yeah.
1-2 taken, and appeal down, and no swing, it says Craig Hyde. And at least the setup as far as softball at Toyota Park, not your typical municipal setup as far as putting up one of those patchwork fences out in the outfield. It will look like next year a professional softball field.
Yeah, no, they'll do it right. They'll take the mound out. They'll flatten it out. They'll, dirt the infield. You'll have at least a semi-permanent fence out there. It won't be some type of netting you see on the side of the highway from the DOT. And I know it'll be first class. They're so excited about it, and they're going to do it right.
But you look at how popular, how mainstream softball has gotten, not just in the SEC, but throughout the country. The SEC has gotten to the point they need the tournament atmosphere like Hoover for softball.
Yep.
Swing and a miss for Flamia. And again, UAB goes down in order. We go to the 7th inning quickly through 6 as Bama on top, 4-0. about an hour and 15 minutes through the first 6 innings of play. One of the fastest games so far that Alabama and UAB have played all season long, as it appears we have a pinch hitter for the Crimson and White as Larissa Pruitt from your neck of the woods, AJ, to the plate.
From Hartselle, Alabama, a product of right down the road of where I live, and a really good ball player, and has done a good job for Alabama. Had some big contributions over the last couple of years.
A heavy contributor her first 3 seasons with the Crimson Tide, especially defensively, as she'll bat for Abby Dukeshire, who was 0 for 1. A strike call as Hannah Cole faced the minimum in her first inning of work in the top of the 6th. Cole rocks and delivers upstairs for a ball. 1 ball and 1 strike. The bottom third of Alabama's order here in what likely you would think is their final at-bat in non-conference play. Alabama coming into this week number 3 in the NCAA RPI rankings as the count now at 2 balls and 1 strike. Some of the folks thought, and I thought too, that might have looked pretty good there from Cole.
Yeah, the umpires in green and gold here tonight didn't like that call a bit.
Well,
and I've had a hard time disagreeing with them.
Well, the Miss Harville behind home plate didn't think so, and that definitely was outside. 3 balls and a strike.
Yeah, we mentioned UAB's got a big series this weekend, hosting South Florida. You know, trying to get back to the winning ways in the AAC,
the American Athletic Conference. 3-1, hit foul. Larissa Pruitt, her 18th game of the season. This is just her 6th at bat this year, is 1 for 5. South Florida, one of those teams, if they don't get the automatic bid by winning the American Conference tournament, they're on the bubble as far as potentially getting an at-large bid. Pop-up as Antonia Henderson makes the catch, 1 down.
Yeah, and someone else has stepped up with the loss of Abby Perkins. Has really fell in line there and done a good job behind the plate. Abby off to a great start this season, had an unfortunate injury like Hannah Miles, but want to shout out to Ann Henderson for stepping in there. Had some experience under her belt, had some starts earlier in her career, and they've really paid off. She's quietly sort of done a solid job back there for UAB in a tough spot.
Anna Roman, a leadoff double her last time up, also scored one of Alabama's 2 in the 5th inning. No balls and 1 strike.
You know, I say quietly. She's had several big moments offensively this year. So I don't mean quietly disparagingly. I just mean if you're not paying attention, you wouldn't notice that she's come in and done a really good job.
0-1 upstairs. That included in the 2nd game of the Easter weekend series against Memphis, having a go-ahead home run in the 6th inning.
Yeah.
Part of a 2-1 Blazers win en route to a series win against the rival Tigers. 1-1 to Roman. 1 for 2 for her so far. Hit down the line, and that goes foul. Anna Roman out of Oviedo, Florida. A freshman for Coach Patrick Murphy's Crimson Tide. Alabama, a solid performance so far today, as they've only committed 1 error, albeit one you could debate as far as an early ground ball in today's game. Otherwise, it's been pretty much what you would want from Coach Murphy today. A home run by Lauren Johnson in the 3rd. And then they've gotten the hits that they've needed to provide themselves a solid cushion coming down the home stretch tonight. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Pitch home. Fly ball down the line, has a chance, and one-hops the wall. Tyndall hustles over to get it in as Roman with her 2nd consecutive double.
Yeah, you could really tell UAB and Hannah Cole were trying to keep it inside, tie her up on her hands. She's able to get her hands through and meet that ball out front a little bit more and being able to keep it fair. That's the tough part of that inside pitch, is keeping it fair. Nice job. Nice job of hitting it.
Just able to keep it fair and almost got it out of the park down the right field line. Lauren Johnson, a chance to make it 2 home runs today. Able to go yard in the 3rd inning off of Caroline McClendon. Lays off 4 ball 1. Hannah Cole, the fourth pitcher today for UAB, as Caitlin Russell got the start. Went 2 innings, gave up a run on a hit. So far, the scoring for Bama, a sac fly from Salyn Hawkins in the second that scored Jenna Young. Also, as we mentioned, the Lauren Johnson solo homer in the third. And then a 2-run double by Brooke Wells in the fifth. And UAB's played some pretty good defense so far today, including a couple of double plays that they've been able to turn over the last 2 innings.
Yeah, UAB's done a solid job, mixed the pitching up well, played solid defense, just haven't had that timely hit. Had a couple on base there early in the game and an opportunity to, sort of scratch back. Wasn't able to get the timely hit.
1 ball and no strikes. Big rip and a miss. Lauren Johnson had that second homer to left field in sight. Comes up empty, however, on the rise ball. Roman in scoring position at the front of your screen. Fastball outside. Alexis Papillo on deck. Alabama, their first game Saturday against Tennessee at 3 o'clock. UAB's first game on Friday at 5:30 against South Florida. Pop up. Carly Wilkins in foul territory secures the catch.
Yeah, something else about this coming weekend, you mentioned the 7-game homestand. We're dead in the center of it. This final weekend will be senior weekend, so we'll honor the seniors this weekend against South Florida, and looking forward to honoring that group and really giving them the recognition they deserve for the hard work and dedication they've put into this program.
Carly Wilkins, one of those seniors that'll be honored on Sunday, who just made the catch. Rise ball upstairs as Alexis Papillo hit by a pitch and scored in the fifth. Alabama in search of a top national seed, as they're just a few steps closer to, at least today, helping their cause. As a strike call. UAB around 135 as far as the RPI coming into today. And then Alabama, they'll have top 30 RPI matchups basically the rest of the way after today. 1-1. Popped up. Flamia ranges over and not able to make the catch. Tried to negotiate that railing at the third base dugout, as it goes just a little bit beyond her glove. 1 ball and 2 strikes.
Yeah, tough catch there if you're Flame. Hadn't played. I know that we're deep in this season, but she is a true freshman, and just kind of got away from her there a bit. But Flame, otherwise, a very good defensive player, as we've seen this year. I think on our last broadcast we mentioned Lindsey Smith and how good a job she did over there for so long. Flame has stepped right in there and done a really good job defensively for UAB, particularly as a freshman.
In fact, made a nice play on Brooke Wells back in the first. Fly ball hit well as it sends Holt back, watches it go. Home run for the Crimson and White. Alexis Papillo with the second homer for Bama today as they take a 6-0 lead.
Well, that pitch looked like it may have been off speed. I couldn't tell for sure, but it was definitely seemed like to be down in the zone. And man, she went down there and got it.
There's the round tripper. There you see for Papillo, number 15, and RBIs 48 and 49.
And what does that make, 79 total for the season?
That's right, number 79. As you take a look at some of the run scoring for the Crimson Tide today, including Papillo's 2-run shot. Looks as if Coach Patrick Murphy has the scorecard out, and looks as if he's going to go further into his bench coming up. Kinley Pate pinch ran for Brooke Wells in the 5th inning. Maybe just re-entering, or let's check out a new player here. Actually, Holly Beth Brooks out of Northport, the freshman, a Tuscaloosa County High School alum. So good to see as far as some of those players that you don't necessarily get to see every day get some action and meaningful playing time. Good swing by Brooks as she fouls it back. So trying to take a look as far as some stats that she's had in I think this may actually be the first at bat that Brooks has had this year.
Good for her. Good kid from Tuscaloosa County High School in Tuscaloosa, and good for Coach Murphy getting her on the field here.
So did not actually find her as far as the season totals this year. As the foul ball off to the right side makes it no balls and 2 strikes. Good solid finish, at least so far for Alabama, as they've been able to add a couple on Papillo's 2-run shot here in the 6th inning. And we'll talk more about Moten in the bottom half of this inning, but she's done outstanding, especially in the back end of today's game. Pop up as the shortstop Dorsett makes the grab and retires the side. But Papillo adds more insurance for the Crimson and White to straightaway center field as Alabama looks to pick up the shutout, up 6-0 going to the bottom of the 7th. Innings so far as she has held UAB's offense in check. Rise ball early to Tyndall, and she's basically gotten it done against UAB, especially since the 3rd inning, basically however she's won it, AJ.
Yeah, she's done a good job mixing the eye planes for the hitters. She's got good stuff anyway, good velocity, good spin, as we mentioned earlier. The thing that impresses me the most about her is the ability to hit those different planes. And if you're a hitter, you've got to honor multiple different levels of a strike with her, and that's impressive.
Zaylin Tucker in the pinch hit for UAB as the count now at 1 ball and 1 strike. Vic Moten, 6 innings, 2 hits, no runs, no walks, 7 strikeouts. Tucker takes a strike call. Had a pinch hit single against Memphis back over Easter, or check that against Samford back over that Easter week homestand. Swing and a miss as that's strikeout number 8 for Moten. 2 consecutive strikeouts, 1 down here in the 7th. So we'll take another look at the strikeout, and rode low and then a drop to the dirt very late to retire Zaylin Tucker. Carly Wilkins reached on an error to begin the 2nd inning and grounded out to second in the 4th as she gets ahead in the count. Friday, Saturday, and Sunday for UAB as they'll close out the home schedule against South Florida. Pop up, and that goes out of play. Alabama 2 outs away from making the folks in crimson and white here in Birmingham happy. A workmanlike effort so far today. 6-0 right now, but it was just 2-0 past the halfway point. As Alabama has come in focused so far, and they've played for almost the entire game, no mistake softball.
Yeah, it's been a pretty good clean game on both sides.
Just 1 error for Alabama. Off the end of the bat and foul. And you could make a case that Carly Wilkins should have gotten a leadoff infield single in the second inning. So the type of performance much better than Alabama had in their first trip to Birmingham in a 3-2 loss to Samford last Tuesday. Swing and a miss as another strikeout for Moten, as she's just one away from double digits. As we'll take another look at this strikeout.
Yeah, that's dirty. She's one of these north-south type pitchers. She doesn't go east and west just a ton. It's just different levels of north-south. Sometimes the ball breaks down, sometimes the ball breaks up, and she got a good off-speed.
Chopper foul off of Antonia Henderson. UAB has not had a base runner since the second inning when J.C. Holt reached on an infield single. Alabama goes to Tennessee on Saturday. They're going to have a very quick turnaround next week. They'll finish in Knoxville on Monday and then start their final SEC series against South Carolina next Thursday. No balls and 2 strikes as UAB down to their final out and Alabama 1 strike away from win number 43. 0-2 pitch. Up and out of play. Solid showing by Alabama, and they're going to have a lot of softball, AJ, still ahead of them.
Yeah, I think Alabama looked pretty good tonight. You know, again, you're on guard for looking ahead to Tennessee. And, you know, kudos to UAB for making it competitive for as long as they did. I mean, that's pretty impressive against the number 2 team in the country.
Swing and a miss as Vic Moten finishes strong, striking out the side as she strikes out 10 in a complete game shutout. We'll take another look as Antonia Henderson goes down swinging as Alabama improves to 43-4 overall. 15-3 in the SEC going to Tennessee as UAB drops to 20-27 overall. They'll face South Florida with a 7-14 conference mark. Your final thoughts, AJ?
Yeah, again, impressed by UAB and their competitiveness. Alabama a little sluggish to get started, but I think UAB had a lot to do with that, mixing the pitchers up, throwing the off speeds for strikes, keeping their hitters off balance. But, you know, big weekends coming up for both programs, and I think tonight is a good in-state softball win all the way around for the sport.
A job well done by our ESPN crew. So for AJ Doherty and our ESPN crew, James Hardy wishing you a good Tuesday evening from Mary Bowers Field in the Magic City of Birmingham. Again, Alabama shuts out UAB 6-0. All games airing on the ESPN networks are streaming live and archived on the ESPN app. This has been a presentation of ESPN.